Hey, I hope you're having a great day today. Here's my wife Jen. Say hi. Here's my son Cody.
Hey, fam.
And today we're going to take a look at something a little bit different here in the city of Kirby. And might want to say maybe it might be the dark side of Kirby, but it all depends. You tell me. But we're going to take a look at the city of Kirby and a little history that they might have forgot about. And that all starts right now. About a year ago, I met a gentleman, and I was working at the airport, and he had got on the bus that I was driving, and I was taking him from the garage to the terminal. And as we was driving, he asked me, "Was I from?" Because I had an accent. And I told him I was originally from Ohio, and I told him, "But I live in Kirby now." He's like, "Kirby, really?" I remember years ago, back in the '60s, there used to be a resort. And I kind of piqued my interest because I never knew that there was a resort out there. And he was telling me, "Oh yeah, there used to be a resort, and back in the '60s they rented it out to the hippies, and they used to do drugs and all this stuff there, and he had a blast." It just kind of piqued my interest because when you come out to Kirby and you look around in the city of Kirby, you don't see nothing like that there. Granted, Kirby is one of the friendliest cities that you'll ever see. But then it piqued my curiosity, though, about this resort. Is there any truth to it? And if there is, why doesn't anybody even mention it? I decided I wanted to learn more about the history of Landis Lakes Resort, and what better place to go than Kirby City Hall. They unfortunately didn't have a lot on it, which is weird, but it's okay because I'm gonna go up there and take a look at Landis Drive. I'm not sure, but I'm guessing that this may be one of the spots for the old resort. That is the Landis Avenue there, and it dead ends right here at this last house. And then you have all this land, but what I'm doing is going out just a little further to see if there's anything out here that shows like maybe there was a pool here, or any other kind of landmark that may show that this used to be a resort. I'm looking down on the ground and I see a lot of dirt in certain areas, and sometimes that pinpoints that there used to be property that sat on there, whether it was a house or a barn or even a garage. But that's about it that I see so far. I had just talked to a family, and they were telling me how basically they hear a bunch of things at night, such as the dogs barking for no reason at all. And I found that really interesting. Now, they also said that at night they would hear things like people talking, but don't see anybody. Now, the information I actually got so far online is that at one time the land basically was owned by Landis Wilson around the 1920s to, I want to say, sometime in the 70s. I believe he passed away in 79. And it was a retreat village, and it was formerly known as Landis Lakes. And it had like a large Olympic-sized swimming pool with a large diving board. And it was sometime in the 70s that I guess the property caretaker had did a horrific murder where it was involved the wife and 2 kids. And drugs also played a role in it. Plus the fact that sometime in the 60s, since he couldn't rent it out for a lot of the stars, because that's what he's aiming for, movie stars, he decided that he was just renting out the hippies. And so he rented out a lot of the homes and property over there to a bunch of the hippies, which they started using drugs and alcohol, and that's when a lot of suicides and drug overdoses happened over on that property as well. I couldn't find any pictures or anything even online to really match it up, except for the pictures I took earlier today of where the new church sits now. Basically is the property line of where the resort was at one time. As I'm actually reading this from online, it says supposedly the gentleman tried to wash his hands of the blood in an upstairs sink where he buried the family, and he washed his hands so much that his own flesh started coming off. So when the police found him screaming, "I can't get the blood off," the caretaker said that he was the guy they made clean the scene, which he was never able to clean the stain in the sinks. So I guess there was a house there on the property that had stained sinks. But anyways, you can find all that in the story about the Landis resort on Ghost of America, and just put in Landis Lakes. But I just found it really odd that even City Hall had no record. If there's any truth to the rumor of there being a retreat or anything here, is really beyond me. I'm just basically going by what I read and from what I heard. Because all you see now is basically a church. See right behind you. But if there was a resort, there's only one way to find out, really, and that's to try and dig deeper, which I did try to do, but unfortunately, there's not even an archive about it. I went to City Hall. They were just as dumbfounded as me. They were even shocked that I knew more than what they knew about there even being a retreat here. So your guess is as good as mine. So who knows? But one thing remains. It's got to be a fact. There's no fiction behind it. But this is a beautiful church that stands here today. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring this video to a close. I hope you found that a little bit interesting, because I know I did, and I just found it kind of strange too, because maybe that's just a dark part of history in the city of Kirby that they care not to remember, and that's why there's no record of it. But let me know what you think in the comments below, especially if you know of the Landis Lakes and the retreat that was there. Especially let me know, and to see if there's any myth about the family that was murdered there. Other than that, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button. So until next time, I love you, God bless you, and please be safe. Deuces. And I almost forgot to mention, there may be a part 2 to this, because I may decide to go and do a paranormal investigation there. It all depends if I can get at least 1,000 likes on this video. And if I can, I'll do a part 2 where I'll go up there at night and do a paranormal investigation and see if maybe there is something going on up there. Never know. So let me know in the comments below. So until next time, peace out.